The referee signaled the start of the match. Jake came at her quickly, throwing a series of punches. Lily remembered her training. She ducked and dodged, her movements becoming instinctual. The crowd cheered as she landed a few quick jabs. She could feel their energy pushing her forward. Jake smirked, clearly underestimating her. "You think you can beat me?" he taunted, throwing a powerful kick. Lily barely managed to duck in time, feeling the rush of air from his foot. She had to stay focused. With each exchange, Lily found her rhythm. She used her speed to avoid Jake's stronger attacks and countered with swift kicks to his sides. Each time she landed a hit, she felt more confident. "I can do this," she thought, pushing aside her fears. The match continued, and both fighters grew tired. Sweat dripped down Lily's face, but she was determined to keep going. With every move, she remembered all those hours of practice. She recalled Mr. Chen's words, "Believe in yourself." Just when she thought she might tire out, Lily saw her chance. Jake was off balance after a missed kick, and she decided to go for it. Gathering all her strength, she executed a spinning kick that caught him right in the chest. He stumbled back, eyes wide with shock. 1, 2, 3! The referee counted, and the crowd erupted in cheers. Lily raised her arms in victory, her heart soaring. She had done it. She had beaten Jake, the strong boy who had mocked her. But she knew there were more challenges ahead. As she prepared for her next match, she couldn't help but overhear some people in the audience. "That girl is incredible! She's not weak at all!" one voice exclaimed. Lily smiled, feeling proud. She remembered the timid girl she used to be and couldn't believe how far she had come. In the next round, Lily faced a girl named Sarah. Sarah was known for her speed and agility. As the match began, Lily felt the pressure mounting. They exchanged blows, each trying to gain the upper hand. The crowd watched in anticipation, cheering for both fighters. Lily felt her nerves creeping in again, but she quickly shook them off. She focused on her breathing and remembered her training. "I am strong," she reminded herself, feeling the fire of determination ignite within her. As the match progressed, Lily used her agility to her advantage. She sidestepped Sarah's quick punches and countered with her own. The crowd cheered as she landed several precise kicks. With every move, she felt herself growing stronger. Finally, after a fierce battle, Lily saw an opening. Sarah was momentarily distracted, and Lily seized the opportunity. She executed a perfect roundhouse kick, connecting with Sarah's shoulder. Sarah fell back, and the referee called the match. Lily had won again. The audience roared with applause as Lily soaked in the victory. She felt a sense of pride wash over her. She was not just a weak human, she was a fighter. As she moved forward in the competition, Lily thought of Zorak. Would he still think humans were weak? She couldn't wait to show him her strength. With each challenge she faced, Lily proved to herself that she was capable of greatness. The competition was tough, but she was determined to keep fighting. The journey was far from over, and Lily was ready to embrace whatever came next. The day of the final match had arrived, and excitement filled the air. The gym was packed with spectators, all buzzing with anticipation. Lily stood backstage, her heart racing. She had fought hard to get here, and now she was just one match away from victory. Today, she would face the reigning champion, a fierce fighter named Marco. He was known for his incredible strength and speed, and many believed he was unbeatable. Lily had heard the whispers from the crowd as they speculated about her chances. "She doesn't stand a chance against Marco," they said. But Lily refused to let their doubts get to her. She remembered her training, her victories, and the journey that brought her here. As the announcer called her name, Lily stepped onto the mat. The cheers of the crowd roared in her ears. She bowed to Marco, who looked down at her with a smirk. "You think you can beat me? You're just a weak girl," he taunted. Lily felt a fire ignite inside her. She would show him just how strong she was. The referee signaled the start of the match, and Marco charged at her with incredible speed. Lily quickly dodged his first punch, narrowly escaping his powerful blow. The crowd gasped, impressed by her agility. She took a deep breath, focusing on her movements. She had to be smart and quick. Marco came at her again, throwing a series of fast punches. Lily blocked and countered, trying to find an opening. She remembered all her training with Mr. Chen and the countless hours spent practicing her moves. "I can do this," she whispered to herself. As the match went on, Marco's strength was evident. He was fast, and every time Lily thought she had the upper hand, he countered with powerful strikes. She felt the pressure mounting, but she pushed through, refusing to back down. Each punch he threw was met with her determination to fight back. After several exchanges, Lily noticed something important. Marco had a pattern. He would always throw a powerful kick after a series of punches. This was her chance. As he threw his next punch, she sidestepped and prepared for his kick. When his foot came flying toward her, she ducked low and executed a swift kick of her own, catching him off guard. The crowd erupted in cheers. Marco stumbled back, and Lily felt a surge of hope. Maybe she could do this. She pressed forward, launching a series of quick punches and kicks. Marco tried to regain his footing, but Lily was relentless. She remembered the strength of her training and the support of her friends and family. They believed in her, and she would not let them down. But Marco wasn't going to go down easily. He quickly regained his stance and charged at her again. This time, he threw a powerful roundhouse kick. Lily barely managed to block it, feeling the impact shake her body. I need to stay focused, she thought, feeling her energy waning. As the match continued, Lily's muscles began to ache, but she pushed through the pain. She couldn't give up now. With every punch and kick, she reminded herself why she was fighting. She wanted to show Zorak, her friends, and herself that she was not weak. The final moments of the match approached, and the tension in the gym was palpable. Lily felt the eyes of the audience on her, urging her to win. In a split second, she saw her chance. Marco was momentarily distracted, and Lily gathered all her strength. With a deep breath, she launched herself at Marco, executing a perfect flying kick. Time seemed to slow down as her foot connected with his chest. The impact sent Marco sprawling to the mat. The crowd went silent for a moment and then erupted into thunderous applause. 1, 2, 3! The referee counted, and Lily could hardly believe it. She had done it. She had defeated Marco, the reigning champion. She raised her arms in victory, tears of joy streaming down her face. As she looked around, she saw the faces of her friends in the crowd, cheering for her. She felt a sense of pride and accomplishment wash over her. She had proven everyone wrong, including herself. In that moment, she knew that she was no longer just the weak girl. She was a fighter, strong and capable of achieving greatness. The showdown had been tough, but she had faced the challenge head-on and emerged victorious. Lily took a deep breath, feeling the warmth of the moment. She had come so far, and this was just the beginning. With her head held high, she left the mat, knowing she had made her mark in the world of martial arts, and she could not wait to see what challenges lay ahead. After her thrilling victory over Marco, Lily stood in the center of the gym, soaking in the cheers and applause from the crowd. The energy was electric, and her heart swelled with pride. She had accomplished what many thought was impossible, but even in her moment of triumph, a thought lingered in the back of her mind. She wanted to show Zorak and the rest of the galaxy that humans were not weak. She wanted them to see her as a true warrior. As she left the mat, her friends rushed to her side, their faces beaming with excitement. "You were amazing, Lily," her best friend Mia exclaimed, jumping up and down. "You showed everyone what you're made of." "Thanks, Mia," Lily replied, her smile wide. But deep inside, she felt a twinge of uncertainty. Did she really prove herself, or was it just a fluke? The doubts were still there, even after her victory. Suddenly, she spotted Zorak at the edge of the crowd, his alien features watching her intently. He stepped forward, his expression serious. "You fought well, human girl," he said, his voice deep and gravelly. "But remember, strength is not just about winning fights." Lily felt a mix of pride and confusion. "What do you mean?" she asked, curiosity piqued. Zorak looked around at the cheering crowd, then back at her. "Strength is also about humility and understanding. You proved yourself today, but do not let it go to your head. There is always more to learn." Lily considered his words. She had fought fiercely and won, but she realized she had a lot to learn about herself and the world. "I want to continue training to become stronger," she said earnestly. "But I also want to help others just like you helped me." Zorak's eyes brightened slightly. That is a good mindset. Strength is not only about defeating your opponents, it is also about lifting others up. With newfound clarity, Lily nodded. "I want to help others find their strength too." As the day progressed, Lily watched the other matches. She saw fighters who struggled but kept pushing forward just like she had. Some were more skilled, while others were still finding their footing. She could feel a connection with them, knowing they all had their challenges. That evening, the tournament organizers held a small ceremony to honor the competitors. They presented Lily with a trophy for her victory. As she held it high, she could see her friends cheering wildly. But in the back of her mind, she remembered Zorak's words. I didn't win this alone, she thought. I had my friends, my training, and everyone who supported me. After the ceremony, she approached Marco, the former champion. "Hey, Marco," she said, a bit shyly. "You fought really well. I learned a lot from our match." He looked surprised but smiled. "Thanks, Lily. You were awesome out there. I didn't expect you to be so tough." "Let's train together sometime," she suggested, feeling the urge to connect. "We can help each other get better." Marco hesitated, but then nodded. "I'd like that. It's always good to learn from each other." As the night wound down, Lily felt a sense of belonging and purpose. She realized that the competition had taught her more than just how to fight. It had shown her the importance of friendship, humility, and support. Later, as she sat with Zorak under the stars, she expressed her thoughts. "I want to be a warrior who helps others, not just a fighter who seeks glory." Zorak smiled knowingly. "You are learning well, human girl. Your true strength lies in your heart. Remember this lesson, and you will become a great warrior." Lily felt a warm sense of accomplishment. She had started her journey feeling weak, but now she knew she was strong. With the support of her friends and the wisdom of Zorak, she was ready to take on the challenges ahead, not just for herself, but for everyone around her. As she gazed at the stars, she dreamed of the future. She would continue to train, learn, and grow, and she would help others do the same. With each challenge she faced, she would carry the lessons she learned, knowing that true strength came from within. The galaxy was vast, and she was ready to explore it, not just as a fighter, but as a true warrior of the heart. Zorak was a mighty alien warrior from the planet Throne. His scales gleamed in the sunlight, and his muscular frame made him look intimidating. He was on a mission to explore Earth and find out how weak the human race truly was. As he landed in a small town, he felt confident that he would find no real challenge here. While walking through the streets, Zorak noticed the humans around him. They were small and fragile compared to him. Most were busy with their daily lives, completely unaware of his presence. Zorak chuckled to himself, thinking about how easy it would be to conquer them. Just then, his gaze fell upon a young girl struggling to lift a heavy box. The girl, Lily, was small and thin. She had long brown hair that fell in waves around her shoulders, and her clothes looked a bit worn. She was trying to move a box that was much bigger than she was. Zorak couldn't help but watch her, amused by her efforts. With a smug smile, Zorak approached her. "Need some help, little human?" he said in a booming voice. Lily looked up, her green eyes wide with surprise. She had never seen anyone like him before. "I can do it myself," she replied, trying to sound brave. Zorak laughed. "You think you can lift that? You humans are so weak!" He crossed his arms and stood tall, towering over her. "Why even try? Just give up!" The words stung Lily deeply. She felt embarrassed, her face turning red. "I'm not weak. I just need a little more time," she said defiantly. But inside, doubt crept in. Was she really weak? Could she ever be strong? Zorak only scoffed. "Go ahead, struggle all you want. It's not like you can change your nature. Humans are always weak." He turned to walk away, leaving Lily feeling humiliated and angry. As Zorak strolled through the town, he continued to mock humans in his mind. He thought about how easy it would be to take over their world, but something about the girl stuck in his mind. Why had she not given up? Why did she seem determined? Zorak shook his head, dismissing the thought. It didn't matter. He was powerful, and she was just a weak little human. Meanwhile, Lily stood there, still staring at the box. She was filled with a mix of frustration and determination. "I won't let him get to me," she thought. "I'll show him that humans can be strong, too." That night, as she lay in bed, the encounter replayed in her mind. Zorak's laughter echoed, but instead of feeling defeated, she felt a fire igniting within her. She couldn't let someone like him define her worth. She decided then and there that she would train. The next morning, Lily woke up early, ready to begin her journey. She joined a local martial arts class, where she learned the basics of self-defense. The first day was tough. She struggled to keep up with the others who were more athletic. But with each passing day, she refused to give up. As weeks turned into months, Lily began to transform. She practiced hard, pushing her limits. She learned how to be quick and agile. The same box that once made her feel weak now became a symbol of her strength. She could lift it now, and she did so with pride. While training, she met new friends who encouraged her. They saw her determination and cheered her on. "You can do it, Lily," they would say, and that motivated her even more. Meanwhile, Zorak continued to boast about his strength and mock humans, unaware of the change happening in Lily. He believed he was invincible, but he had no idea that someone was working hard to prove him wrong. Little did they both know that their paths would cross again, and the tables would turn in ways neither of them expected. Lily was no longer just a weak human girl. She was becoming a force to be reckoned with. As she trained, she promised herself that one day she would face Zorak again. And when that day came, she would show him just how strong a human could be. The fire within her was growing stronger, and she was ready to embrace the challenge ahead. Lily woke up each morning with a clear goal in her mind. After her encounter with Zorak, she had promised herself that she would become strong. No longer would she be seen as a weak human. Instead, she wanted to show everyone, especially Zorak, that humans could be powerful too. She began her training at the local martial arts studio, a place filled with energy and excitement. The walls were covered with colorful posters of famous fighters and motivational quotes. The smell of sweat and determination filled the air. Lily felt nervous as she stepped inside, but also excited. She was ready to prove herself. Her first class was intense. The instructor, a tall man named Mr. Chen, welcomed the students. "Martial arts is not just about fighting, it's about discipline and respect," he explained. "It's about becoming the best version of yourself." Lily nodded, soaking in every word. During her first lesson, she struggled to keep up. The other students were faster and stronger, executing punches and kicks with ease. Lily felt out of place, but she refused to give up. After class, she approached Mr. Chen. "I want to get better. What can I do?" she asked, determination in her eyes. Mr. Chen smiled. "Hard work is the key. Practice every day and remember to focus on your strengths." His words inspired her. She decided to practice at home as much as possible. The next day, Lily went to the park with a heavy bag filled with sand. She set it down and started to do push-ups and sit-ups. With each rep, she could feel her muscles getting stronger. People passing by looked at her with curiosity, but she didn't care. She was focused on her goal. As the weeks went by, Lily began to see changes in herself. Her body became stronger and her confidence grew. She trained every day, running laps around the park, lifting weights, and practicing her martial arts moves. She would often visualize her fight with Zorak, imagining how she would surprise him with her strength. One sunny afternoon, she decided to practice her kicks at the local gym. She found an empty corner and began to kick the air, imagining Zorak standing in front of her. With each kick, she felt empowered. The other gym-goers watched in admiration as she kicked higher and higher. One day, as she practiced, a group of kids gathered around her. "Wow, you're amazing," one of them exclaimed. Lily smiled, feeling proud. She remembered the weak girl Zorak had mocked and felt grateful for how far she had come. Inspired by her progress, she decided to enter a local martial arts competition. It was a chance to test her skills and show everyone what she had learned. The thought excited and scared her at the same time. "What if I don't do well?" she worried. But she pushed those thoughts away. "I have to try," she reminded herself. As the competition day approached, Lily trained even harder. She spent extra hours at the gym, practicing her moves and refining her techniques. She could feel the excitement building within her, and she knew she was ready to face any challenge that came her way. On the day of the competition, the gym was buzzing with energy. Competitors from all around gathered, showcasing their skills. Lily felt a mix of nerves and excitement. When her name was called, she stepped onto the mat, her heart racing. The crowd watched as she faced her first opponent, a tall boy who looked confident. Lily remembered all her training and the challenges she had overcome. As the match began, she focused on her breathing and remembered Mr. Chen's words. "Stay calm and believe in yourself." She executed her moves with precision, using her agility to dodge attacks and counter with powerful kicks. To her surprise, she won her first match. The crowd erupted in cheers, and Lily's confidence soared. With each match she won, she felt stronger and more empowered. The once timid girl was now a warrior in her own right. She knew she was not just fighting for herself, she was fighting to prove that humans could be strong too. As she progressed through the competition, she thought of Zorak. Would he still think humans were weak? She couldn't wait to show him the strength she had built through her training. She was ready for whatever challenges lay ahead. With each step she took, Lily was no longer just a girl who had been mocked. She was becoming a symbol of strength and resilience. And the journey had only just begun. The sun shone brightly on the day of the local martial arts competition. Excitement filled the air as crowds gathered to watch the fighters. Lily stood backstage, her heart pounding. She had trained hard for this moment, and now it was time to show everyone what she was made of. As she looked around, she noticed fighters warming up and stretching. Some were big and muscular, while others were quick and agile. Lily felt a mix of nerves and determination. She remembered Zorak's mocking words. "You humans are so weak." That memory fueled her fire. She was not going to let anyone think she was weak ever again. When it was time for her to compete, Lily walked onto the mat. The bright lights shone down and the audience erupted in cheers. She felt a rush of adrenaline as she bowed to her opponent, a tall boy named Jake. He had a reputation for being strong and fast, but Lily was not afraid. She was ready to face the challenge. The referee signaled the start of the match. Jake came at her quickly, throwing a series of punches. Lily ducked and dodged, her training paying off. She remembered all those hours spent practicing her moves. With each dodge, she grew more confident. "Is that all you've got?" she taunted, a grin spreading across her face. The audience gasped in surprise. Jake was taken aback by her boldness. He was used to intimidating his opponents, but Lily stood her ground. As the match continued, Lily used her speed to her advantage. She sidestepped Jake's attacks and landed quick jabs to his sides. The crowd cheered for her, and she felt their energy lift her spirits. But Jake wasn't going to go down easily. He swung a powerful kick, aiming for Lily's head. She barely ducked in time, feeling the rush of air as his foot passed over her. That was close, she thought, her heart racing. She knew she had to keep her focus. With a newfound determination, Lily launched into a series of swift kicks, surprising Jake. The crowd erupted into cheers as she landed a solid kick to his midsection. He stumbled back, but quickly regained his stance. This only made Lily more determined. She could see the doubt creeping into Jake's eyes. He hadn't expected her to be so strong. "I'm not just a weak human," she thought, feeling proud of her progress. After a few more exchanges, Lily saw her chance. Jake was slightly off balance, and she decided to go for it. She gathered all her strength and performed a spinning kick, hitting him directly in the chest. He fell to the mat, stunned. The audience gasped, and the referee quickly stepped in. 1, 2, 3, he counted, and the crowd cheered loudly. Lily couldn't believe it. She had won her first match. She raised her arms in victory, feeling a rush of joy and pride. But she knew there were more matches to come. As she prepared for her next fight, she overheard some people in the audience talking. "That girl is impressive," one of them said. "She's not weak at all." Lily smiled at their words. It was moments like these that reminded her why she trained so hard. In the next round, Lily faced an opponent named Sarah. She was skilled and had won several competitions. As the match began, Lily felt the pressure mounting. Sarah was quick, and Lily had to stay sharp. They exchanged blows, each one trying to gain the upper hand. Lily remembered her training and focused on her breathing. She visualized Zorak's face and felt a surge of confidence. "I will show him," she thought. The match went back and forth with both fighters showcasing their skills. But Lily's determination began to shine through. She dodged Sarah's attacks, countering with her own. The crowd roared as she landed several precise kicks. Finally, after a tough battle, Lily saw an opening. She executed a beautiful roundhouse kick, connecting perfectly with Sarah's shoulder. Sarah fell back, and the referee called the match. Lily had won again. The cheers of the crowd filled her ears as she soaked in the victory. She couldn't believe it. She was making it through the rounds. As she bowed to her opponent, she felt a sense of pride swell within her. She was proving that she was not weak. As the competition continued, Lily faced more challengers, each one more skilled than the last. With each victory, she grew stronger and more confident. But deep down, she still thought about Zorak. She could hardly wait to show him just how powerful a human could be. The challenge had only just begun, and Lily was determined to fight until the very end. She knew that her training and hard work would pay off, and she would not stop until she proved her strength to the world. The day of the martial arts competition had finally arrived. Lily stood backstage, her heart pounding with excitement and nerves. She had trained hard for this moment, and now it was time to show everyone what she could do. The gym was buzzing with energy. Fighters of all shapes and sizes were warming up, stretching their bodies, and mentally preparing for their matches. As she watched her fellow competitors, Lily felt a mixture of admiration and anxiety. Some fighters looked fierce, their muscles rippling under the bright lights. Others were quick and agile, bouncing on their toes as they practiced their moves. But Lily reminded herself of her training, her determination, and the journey she had taken to get here. "Today I will prove that humans are strong," she whispered to herself, clutching her fists tightly. She thought of Zorak's mocking words, "You humans are so weak." That memory fueled her determination. She was not going to let anyone think she was weak ever again. When her name was called, Lily stepped onto the mat. The crowd erupted into cheers, and she felt a rush of adrenaline. Her first opponent was a tall boy named Jake. He had a reputation for being strong and fast, but Lily was ready. She bowed to him, feeling the weight of the moment settle in her stomach.